Why am I not on the first page of Google anymore? What happened to my Google ranking? That's a question I literally get asked quite often. Not every day, but sort of often. I'll be talking to people and they'll be saying, hey Chris, I've been on Google for years. I used to pop up all the time. I would search this keyword in that area, and I would always pop up. Like, what the heck happened? Like, what's going on here? Really common thing. Anybody that's watching this, I literally have talked to over the 15 years that I've been doing this. I literally have talked to over 100 people that have asked the same question. What happened to my Google ranking? The main problem with the Google ranking is really twofold. Back in 2005, 2006, when we really started to get into search engine optimization, it was pretty easy to do it. All you had to do was put up a website, optimize the website in a certain way, tag it in a certain way, and the website would pop up. Because during 2005, 2006, I was trying to convince people that they needed a website to begin with. That was the debate that a lot of business owners were having back then. I mean, even 2008, 2010, there are a lot of businesses that are out there that have the mindset of, well, I've had a business for 30 years and I've never needed a website, so why am I going to start sinking money into something that I never needed? So my conversations revolved around hey, probably would be a good idea for you to get a website up. So what you had was a environment where not every business had a website. Like, that's my main point in terms of why I bring it up. Like, not everybody had a website. So when you're doing search engine optimization back in 2010, some companies did have websites. I'd say about half of them probably had websites, and not everybody did. So there wasn't as much competition. You also had a landscape where you only had like 2 Google ads popping up at the very top, and they only had a little bit of text. So if you were coming up organically through search engine optimization in the free section, either in Google Maps or in the regular website listings down below it, there's going to be a lot of real estate there. So a few different things have happened over the past few years. We've seen Google increase the amount of advertisements from 2 to 3 and sometimes even 4 ads that now pop up. You used to see advertisements popping up along the right hand side. Google doesn't do that anymore. The search engines, Bing and Yahoo, also don't do that anymore. You only now have advertisements popping up on the left hand side, so that gives them justification to have a 4th ad now a lot of times pop up, and then thus pushing the organic and free section down even further. Other problems are that big national companies are now more prominent than they used to be. Used to be that local companies had more prominence, that if you're a local company for a keyword with local intent, i.e. a customer that's looking for a local auto repair shop, it's going to be more likely that the local shop pops up. But nowadays, Google's been making some changes in their algorithm to where they're featuring bigger brands, bigger companies, and giving them more prominence even in the local area. So you have big companies like Maaco, like Midas, like Jiffy Lube. They're now coming up more prominently, like even in the local area, like more than they did before for their main corporate websites. So that's been another change. It's like that on before I get to that part, I'll finish the other 2 reasons, and then I'll get to the overarching theme here. So the second main reason why there's been a change and why you've lost your Google ranking is because there's also less real estate on the first page of Google because of all the review websites that are out there. 10 years ago, I don't think Yelp existed 10 years ago. I could be wrong. But the review websites overall in general have really grown in prominence over the last 5 years. Yelp, Angie's List, a bunch of others. You have even Yellow Pages popping up for reviews. Facebook now pops up for reviews. Facebook reviews pops up sometimes. You even have some no-name, review websites that also pop up as well that you probably, brands that you haven't heard of, but because they do reviews, they're popping up. So, you have all these different review websites popping up. You have all these big national companies that pop up. You also have 4 ads popping up at the very top. And if that wasn't enough, you also have a big change where Google Maps used to be 7 listings. Now it's 3 listings. So they really have shrank the real estate. The real estate is really smaller than it used to be, with Google Maps being smaller. And then the very last reason is that increased competition also tremendously hurts things too. It's 2017. I would say probably pretty close to anybody that runs a business now has a website. I would even say in 2017 that the vast majority of businesses that are out there, I'd have to go and look at the numbers and look at studies to see what the exact number is. But I'm confident in saying that a majority of businesses that are out there that do have a website know that they need to actively market it, whether they pay somebody to do it or do it themselves. They're actively trying to market their website. So not only does everybody now have a website, but everybody's also making an effort to market it, something that, back in 2010, 2012, not everybody was doing. Some small business owners had the idea, well, why do I need to market it? My website should just pop up. Somebody's in my area and they're looking for what I do, I should just pop up. Like, why do I gotta pay anybody? So that was another thing. But now everybody's trying to actively market themselves. So for all those reasons that I listed, that's why your Google ranking has disappeared, because the ecosystem has changed, the environment has changed. It's now a different environment. And there is a pattern here. It's this environment is not by accident. There is an overarching theme that I mentioned earlier of why things have gotten this way. Google's in business to make money. Google is no different than anybody else. They exist in order to make money. So their goal is for businesses to have to pay to get phone calls and customers. Google has never liked the idea of companies getting customers for free without having to pay for advertisement. They've never liked that because they feel like that it's wasted opportunity. So that's why things are the way that they are. On purpose, Google wants big national companies to be more likely to pop up, because then the small mom and pops have to pay for advertising. They want review websites to pop up, because then if local businesses want to pop up, guess what? You got to pay for advertising. Shrinking Google Maps from 7 to 3, guess what? If you were getting phone calls and customers off of Google Maps before, guess what? You now have to pay more money for advertising. So it's by design. It'll continue to get that way. I do think that Google does have to have sort of a balance, though. They can't get rid of the free listings completely, because then they become no different than the yellow pages. So they have to kind of have the free local listings somewhat in there. Otherwise, there really isn't a differentiator between them and some other directory websites. So but that's the reason why your rankings have gone away. That's why things aren't the way that they used to be. It's a changing landscape. It used to be that not every business participated in having a website and marketing it. Now they do. Now review websites pop up. Now big national companies pop up. Google Maps used to be 7 listings and now it's 3. And you now have more advertisements popping up at the very top and the left, because they don't pop up on the right. So for all those reasons, search engine optimization isn't what it used to be. And if you really want to get customers and make money off of it, the last frontier is really to go after what's known in the industry as long tail keywords, also known as specific keywords that people don't search for as much, but because they don't get much competition, it's pretty easy to rank for them. And if you do a lot of them, then it can start to make a difference and start to add up. And that's really like the last frontier. Search engine optimization is all about real estate. It's purely a real estate business, where you want to gobble up as much land as possible on the first page of the search engine. So for every different keyword combination that's out there, and by the way, what the search engines consider to be a keyword is a combination of words. It doesn't have to be one word. It could be a combination of 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 different words that are out there. So you have all these different keyword combinations, and you're going to have different results for each and every one of them. So you want to gobble up as much real estate for as many of these keyword combinations as possible. And the more you do it, the more people that are going to be going to your website, more phone calls that you could be getting. So that's in my opinion the main way to tackle search engine optimization if you're a small local company.